The reason you're stuck is not what you're learning, but how you're learning it. Let me explain. With so many language apps out there, and you can use Canva or AI to make language learning materials, there's a lot of junk out there, especially when it comes to smaller languages like Tigrinya. So I usually see two problems. One is too much too soon, and the other is too little too late. Let's go into that. There are a few really good books about Tigrinya and one really good app that I found, but it bombards you with too much stuff at the same time. Not even a syllabus, but a whole list of things that you could learn. And for most of us, that won't work. Even the best books that I have for Tigrinya, they start with the wrong things. One of them starts with grammar. The other one has a few like, hi, hello, how are you? But then gets into too much of the details of like the days of the week and colors. You don't need that to be able to introduce yourself. I'm trying to go back to basics. We want adults to learn like kids. You don't go through everything in a categorized manner when you're trying to learn to speak as a kid. First, you learn how to introduce yourself. Then you learn something a little bit more advanced than that. You have to go step by step. So that's the too much too soon side. The too little too late side is what I've seen some apps do. They teach you the hello, how are you? But then you get stuck learning things that you don't like. Like a certain big app, I don't need to mention them because you know who I'm talking about. They start you with basic things, hello, how are you? The names of family members. But then when you get to the intermediate stage, you're stuck in this whole unit about how to describe books and stuff you read. And there's no way to skip it. Once you get to the intermediate level, it should be more of a choose your own adventure thing. For me, when I got to the intermediate, I needed to know 3 things for the volunteer work that I was doing. How to talk about food, because I was in a lot of situations where I was with women who were Habesha that they were cooking or wanted to ask how they cooked something, how to explain my point because I was doing work where I had to have discussions with people, and also how to defend myself because you know that sometimes Habesha can be kind of rough. Your 3 could be different. Maybe you're really into sports and you want to know how to talk about football with your family. Or you are really like history. This is why it has to be a choose your own adventure at that point. You don't want to get stuck in the wrong place. And that's why we have Tigrinlish. If you're new here, this is my first video specifically about this, but I have a whole podcast where I interview bilingual people from all over the world. Tigrinlish is my special passion project where I have 3 classes start a year in February, June, and October that are 6-week sprints to help the diaspora and Ferengis, foreigners like me. Yes, I'm not Habesha. I learned Tigrinya. I've been learning since 2014. While you're processing that, back to the story. To help diaspora and Ferengis to get to know the culture and the language in a way that is practical, conversational, and affordable. My classes are one-on-one via Zoom, and I have actual curriculum that I've set out from beginner, intermediate, and advanced, so you have options to choose from those. Plus, I think I'll probably have to write a book soon. But if you're liking what I'm talking about, make sure you follow me on LinkedIn where I talk about Tigrinya even more often. And you can also go to my website if you're more of a reader to get the Tigrinlish monthly update as an email instead of a video. Until next time, this is Gaby. Salam alti.